My neighborhood has officially warmed up and my daffodils just started to bloom in my garden beds. I hope that you are having the same good luck in your neighborhood and that today I can inspire you to get into your craft rooms to make some beautiful things to decorate and organize with. We're going to be using Dollar Tree supplies to create some high-end beautiful farmhouse spring decor pieces. Now come along and let's make something beautiful for our homes. This inspiration came from Antique Farmhouse. I love these crates, but I would not pay $89 for them. So we're going to use some supplies from the Dollar Tree, 2 of these chalkboard frames, and then 10 of these painter sticks that you can get from a home improvement store. And then we're going to simply start by putting 3 on the shorter side of the chalkboard frames. I put some hot glue down first, and then I used my staple gun and stapled it into place. So you can see I've got 3 on each of the shorter sides, and then on the bottom side I've got 4 more. So at this point it's created this cute darling little crate and completely on budget for a little bit under $3. Now I'm going to take some black paint, brown paint, and water, mix it all together to create a faux stain. And now I'm going to just simply paint that right onto the box itself, and it absorbs in, still showing the wood grain, and looks so much like the inspiration. Then I'm going to come in with some white paint and dry brush on it to distress it a little bit and make it look more rustic farmhouse, and then sand where I've got too much. And here it is, the inspiration versus mine, where I've saved a ton of money. The next project we're going to be doing, I made something similar back at Christmas time, and I wanted to do one for Easter or for springtime. I just thought this would be so cute. I'm taking 3 jars and I'm removing the lids. I always hold on to those, by the way, because there are always crafts that you can make with those types of things. And then I spray painted all of the glass jars with white paint. Now I'm going to take some of this burlap. I cut it down to the size that I needed, and I'm hot gluing it around all 3 of my jars. Once I have all 3 of those covered the way that I like, I decided to fray the edges just a little bit, and that's really easy to do, especially with burlap. It comes apart really easy when you gently tug at it. So I'm just fraying the edges just a little bit and cleaning it up where it needs to be cleaned up, and then that way it has kind of that farmhouse look to it. I like frayed burlap. That's just personally me speaking. You don't have to do that step. You could use any fabric that you wanted. And then you can see here at the end, I'm folding over the flap to make sure it has a nice clean finish. So once you've got all of those covered in your fabric, I decided to bust out my button collection, and I'm pulling out 3 buttons that I thought would look nice on the back side, because I just think that is a cute little detail to it that makes it look more store-bought and custom. So I'm just putting a nice dollop of hot glue right on that seam on the back. And then on the front side, again, you can use a pencil to sketch out your letters. I'm just freehanding it. I'm going to paint on the words hop. I thought this would be really darling to just paint on these letters. And again, I'm taking my time. Friends, I make mistakes all the time whenever I'm hand painting, but the trick is to work slowly and take your time with your brush and get familiar with the bristles of the brush, because sometimes paintbrushes want to go certain directions, and over time you'll just get better and better. So here I am. First I write the letters, and then I go back in and I'm filling in the base where they connect to make it look, you know, like a really pretty font on this thing. And you can see that I always work out of my paint cap from my paint. I just like doing it that way because I feel like I have more control with my paintbrush. So once it's all painted and dried, I'm going to take some foam and I just put it down inside and hot glued it into place. And I'm going to take these really pretty pink flowers. I've been holding on to them, not sure what I wanted to do with them yet, and I just knew that this would be the perfect thing, a little pop of pink. And I'm putting them inside of this foam and just making sure it's nice and full and pretty like wildflowers. I really loved the way the pink looked with it, and I love this greenery that's on this particular one. And then I decided to add in a different variation of green to give it that really spring pretty look. And I'm just putting those down inside there. And then this is what is the cute thing about that sign from earlier. I popped off the bunny, cleaned off all the glue on the back side, and then I'm just going to add a stick and push that right down into my project. Here is the reveal of all of the jars. For this DIY, we are going to be using some of these glass jars. I picked them up at Target, but honestly, you can get these all over the place, and lots of them at the Dollar Tree, and then some rope from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 2 white nautical ropes and then 1 brown rope. So what I'm doing is I'm noticing that these need to be a certain length at the bottom, and I'm going to make a big oval shape because we're going to be making a glass jar basket to hold all of these in. I'm just going to continue to coil them around until I get to the end of that rope, and then I'm going to add on that second rope. I wanted to make sure that it's wide enough and that junction of those 2 ropes is at the bottom, and then I'm going to start coming and building up the side. Now I'm showing all the steps of this because I just want you to see exactly how I built it up the side where you can make your basket really strong. My biggest recommendation is make sure that you're massaging those ropes together every single time you put another bead of glue along that line. And then once you get those all going and you notice that it's getting stronger and stronger, this is the coolest thing. I'm going to actually put some handles on here without having to compromise the rope being cut. You can see that I pulled it out a little bit longer, and then I continued on my journey around. So now I've created 2 handles, and then where I stopped, I'm going to bring back in that darker rope, and I'm going to go around 2 more times, and it makes the coolest basket to be able to hold these glass jars. Now they sell these so expensively on sites like Pottery Barn. Friends, I made this for $3. Please know that you can have the most beautiful things in your home for hardly any money. Once the basket was all done, I added in my jars and whatever florals I wanted. I love finding vintage goodies, and something I've been trying to hunt down and have not been able to find has been an old auction sign. So I decided to make one myself. I found these chalkboard frames and I loved the shape on them, and I'm taking down a painter stick that's cut down from it being a very long yardstick, and I'm going to just simply glue that in between these 2 frames. It's actually the perfect size. So make sure when you're gluing it down though, you're going to see here in a second, I put the 2 pieces together and then realized I didn't put glue on the backside where the chalkboard part was. So I had to pull it back up again. It happens. Sometimes you just get moving and you forget to glue certain things. So I went ahead and glued those 2 signs onto this handle. And I went ahead and patched those holes on the chalkboard signs because it used to have twine on those holes. And now I'm going to take this wood strip. A bunch of you told me what it was called and I forgot it again, but I'm going to link it down below. This stuff is so cool. It's like wood ribbon. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. I'm just going to call it wood ribbon. But I know that it's used for building cabinets. That's what somebody told me, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I'm going to use this stuff to conceal that this was 2 separate signs, 2 chalkboard signs. I'm going to glue it and hug that all the way around the whole chalkboard sign. This is going to really make it look like a vintage, really cool old auction sign. And this would be really fun if you have some fun baby showers or bachelorette parties to do this for yes and no signs. People can ask them questions and answer it, but I'm going to be using it where I'm going to paint on a number in just a second. But you can see here, I'm just following along that edge of these two frames, and I'm just taking my time gluing it on. Once you get all the way around the whole frame, cut off where the ending point is, and you've got this beautiful looking finished piece that looks like an auction sign, which I'm just like, I don't know why I thought this one was really cool to share today, just because it's different. Now go ahead and paint it whatever color you want. I went with a pretty white, nice and crisp, but I'm obviously going to make it look very farmhouse. And then I'm going to go ahead and take some painter's tape and some washi tape. I'm creating some different stripes because I wanted to bring in a really pretty sage green color. I'm loving that color right now. That and a French blue. It's just, I don't know, my style. I really love French blue and sage green. Go ahead and pull off that painter's tape and washi tape. Once that's dry, you can go ahead and paint on or vinyl on, whatever you want to do. Or stencil too, you can do that too. Go ahead and put on whatever number you want on your sign. You could also put a letter on for your monogram for your family. I'm going to go with 5 because there's 5 members in my house. And I'm going to go ahead and now just distress it. And you've got yourself a really cool vintage piece for your home. Our next craft is going to be another DIY organizer from Dollar Tree Supplies. These two garden trellis wire racks, I think that's what they're called. They are each $1, so we're going to be taking those, and right at that bottom bar we're going to connect them, and you can see here that those sticks that would go into the ground, I'm going to bend them down, and then I'm going to zip tie everything and pinch it all nice and secure into place. I'm using black zip ties. I picked these up also at the Dollar Tree. In fact, all of my supplies on this DIY are 100% from the Dollar Tree, and it is so cute when we're done. Then I also ended up picking up these garden buckets. I just thought they were so darling. Now I'm going to be using a tool that I also feature here a lot on my channel. It's called A Dile. It punches through metal. It's actually meant for eyelets, but it can go through metal. This is the strongest, coolest tool, and my husband actually likes using it all the time. He'll say to me, "Where is that pink tool that punches through metal?" Which is my Dile. So you can see here that I'm taking these darling buckets from the Dollar Tree. I'm using 3 of them, and I'm punching 4 holes in it, so that way I can zip tie it onto this really cute trellis wire rack thing that I've just put together with 2 of them. And you can see the 4 holes here. It cuts through so easily. There's no struggles, and it's a really great tool for someone who might have very sensitive hands to maybe arthritis. I love this tool. I use it all the time, and it never hurts my hand when I'm using it. So here I am. I'm going to just go down all 3 buckets, punching those 4 holes, and then I'm going to come around on the back side, and I'm going to create a figure 8. So I'm going through my bucket first. You can see here that I went all the way to the end of where that little zip tie lock is, and then I'm going to come back out and thread back through the hole again, wrapping around one of the bars, coming back out that second hole, and then wrapping around the bar the other way, creating a figure 8 so that it's really secure on there, and you can put a lot of heavy things in this without it having any issues at all. So make sure you just pull it really tight, and then snip off anything that is extra from your zip tie that you don't want. So once I had 1 bucket on, it's really simple at this point. You just move down and do the other 2 buckets. Friends, this is a great DIY to do for a storage unit in any situation. You can put it in a bathroom, a kitchen, a child's room, even in your bedroom. It's just such a cute thing, and you can really decorate it and just have fun with it, and the possibilities are endless because you can put whatever baskets you want on it, and Dollar Tree has a couple different metal containers like this that are just so darling. Today's episode was so enjoyable to make these projects for you all, to give a try in your own craft rooms. Don't forget to please give this video a thumbs up. It always helps out my channel and means so much to me to see those thumbs up. Don't forget I'm posting on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm going to recommend this video right here, just in case you missed it the other day. Thank you all so much for stopping in and visiting with me in my craft room. And until the next episode, bye friends.